Because in this, the 21st century, town hall meetings are often conducted with questions from Twitter. So I have a question from Twitter that I actually have to read. The question is from someone on Twitter whose Twitter name is Avance, and the question is, many parents can't afford to pursue higher education. How is college affordability resolved so low-income families can attend? I want to ask Mr. Baudet to start and then to the Secretary, because we're in a state where this issue is very much on everyone's minds. Governor called for a $10,000 college education, including books, in his State of the State last year. Cuts to the state financial aid program, Texas grants, happened during the last session. A lot of families in this state want to send their kids to school, don't necessarily have the resources to do it. How do you deal with college affordability?
Well, I may not be best qualified to address that. From the business standpoint and in the role that I hold, we very carefully work with students and their parents as they come to a town like Austin. And they're exploring this, and we try to counsel them as best we can. The federal government is running most of that program today. We do offer some private loans that will enable people to attend college. But in terms of the cost of college itself, I'm not sure the business community has a lot to say about that. Although
well, I know the Secretary will have something to say, so let's take it down to him then. Ms. Secretary.
So this is a huge issue, and I've traveled the country with the President, with the Vice President. Let me be clear, it's not just low-income folks who are struggling. We go to many, many middle-class communities, and parents are starting to think that college isn't for them. It's for rich folks. It's not for people who look like them and come from their community. So this is a huge, huge challenge. Let me tell you what we're trying to do. One of the things I'm most proud of is we increased Pell Grants by $40 billion. $40 billion. And we did that without going back to taxpayers for a nickel. We simply stopped subsidizing banks, which we didn't think needed our money, put all that money into young people. That was very controversial in Washington. We thought it was common sense. We got it done. There are folks in Congress who want to roll that back, and we're going to fight that tooth and nail. But we're so thrilled that we've gone from 2 years ago, 6 million young people around the country who have access to Pell Grants, to 9 million. It's a 50% increase, and Pell Grants are at all-time high. So that's a significant step in the right direction. We're trying to increase Perkins loans going forward. We have something in place called income-based repayment, IBR, that on the back end, we're reducing your loan repayments each month. So if you make more money, you pay more. If you make less money, you pay less. And I should have said this for our teachers, for our public servants, for folks working at a healthcare clinic, a legal aid clinic. After 10 years of public service, all your debt is erased, is forgiven. So that's a huge, huge step in the right direction. We are proposing the budget to double work-study opportunities. We're trying to make permanent the American Opportunity Tax Credit, which is $2,500 each year. So we're pushing it in every level we can. But let me be clear, we can't do this by ourselves. And this is all about shared responsibility. States have to step up and invest at every level of education, early childhood, K-12, higher ed. And again, regardless of politics or ideology, we saw 40 states last year, 40 states cut funding to higher education. That's not where we need to go on either party. And we need universities to keep their tuitions down. And we have universities that are doing the right thing. We want to reward that. Where tuition is skyrocketing much faster than the rate of inflation, we can't support that. So part of the budget proposal is a race to the top for higher education, $5 billion to incentivize states to continue to invest, to incentivize universities to keep tuition down, and to make sure it's not just about access, it's got to be about completion. It's got to be around attainment. So Pell students, first-generation college goers. So we are trying to walk the walk. Please hold us accountable. But again, we need states to step up to the plate, and we need universities to do the same thing. Part of the reason I love community colleges is they are so affordable. And with a Pell Grant, in many places, you can almost go for free. And I think, again, the value that community colleges are providing to the country is simply extraordinary.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I'm going to go in the back here.